Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are, of course. Oh, in this crazy world we're living in. Now, gosh, just when you think things can't get any crazier, they do, don't they? I mean, just every day there's something that you think, oh my God, that's really strange, a case or something that's happened. And then there's something else a bit stranger or a bit more scary or a bit more dramatic. Is it the times we're living in? Or has it always been like that? It's just we never got to know about any of the things before. Of course, we get to know about everything now, for the because of social media and the internet, we get to know about things that are happening right over the other side of the world, don't we? And this case that we're going to talk about today happened in Australia. It's literally just happened. And even if you don't know Australia very well, as I don't know Australia at all, I've never been there, but I've got to know it a lot better because of doing cases there. Especially the mushroom murder case. This case happened in Mount Waverley. Now, isn't Mount Waverley where Erin Patterson had her holiday home? Isn't that where she was supposed to have bought the mushrooms from an Asian grocer? Anyway, that's where this case has happened, and it's a very sad case, a very dramatic case, because this case talks about this lady here who was pregnant. She was murdered, and her partner, he was also murdered. And not only that, he was decapitated and his head was put on a spike. What is it about heads? We've had the Tamika Cheshire case where she removed her partner's head and hid it basically, and just recently Julian's head has been found, and at least his family's got a whole body to bury. But these poor people were brutally murdered, and allegedly by this man. This is him chillingly just before the murder. Now, I'm not sure why he's carrying that spike. Is that the spike that he put the head on? And you see he's got a German Shepherd there, and they're saying, allegedly, that the reason or the motive, talk about motives. We've been talking, again, with the Erin Patterson case, there was a lot of kerfuffle about, oh, well, did she really have a motive for killing those poor people that she killed? But do you know what? Sometimes a motive what wouldn't make sense to you or I. This apparently is possibly a dispute over dogs, because the couple that were murdered, they also had 2 German Shepherds. And this man, as you can see, he's got a German Shepherd who's a homeless man. His dog is called Dragon. And I hope the dog's all right. What's happened to the dog? Because he's been arrested, obviously, and taken into custody. Where is Dragon? What's happened to Dragon? And what's happened to their dog? Anyway, very kindly, after he murdered this poor couple, he allegedly took their dogs for a walk around Mount Waverley. It was a neighbour who found the bodies. Yeah, imagine the trauma he's going through. And then he was arrested. Then he went to MacDonalds, because it does give you, they always get hungry, these murderers, don't they? But I just think, imagine, you've decapitated somebody. The last thing you'd feel like is a Big Mac, surely. But see, they seem to build up an appetite with murders so often that we've looked at cases. And immediately after the horrible act that they've committed, off they go to find some food. It must make them hungry. How cutting off someone's head could make you hungry, I'm not sure. But anyway, apparently it did with this guy. So this is the case we're going to talk about. This is what we're going to talk about. Very, as I say, just literally just happened within the last couple of days. And very sadly, they keep calling it a double murder. But as this lady was actually pregnant, I would call it a triple murder, personally, because Athena, her name is Athena Georgopoulos, and she was 39 years old, pregnant. I think she's 6 months pregnant. And her partner, Andrew Gunn, 50 years old. So they were looking forward to having this baby. And so 3 people have been killed. So to me, that is a triple murder. I don't know how that works in Australia. Do you get, is there a charge for killing a child? He hasn't been charged with that so far. I don't know how that'll work in the end. Oof. So it's, just a bit of a warning. It's not very nice. None of the cases we cover, you could say, are very nice. If it's true crime, it's not going to be very nice. This is particularly gruesome. So I just want to give you a warning of that. Obviously, I don't share any gruesome details. It's not for that. It's just but I've got to tell you what happened. I mean, he did decapitate this poor guy and put his head on the spike. I can't put that any other way, any other gentler way, really, can I? Yeah. And allegedly, supposedly, over a dispute over dogs. But after he committed this terrible crime, he took the dogs for a walk. And then off he went for a MacDonalds. And then he was arrested shortly afterwards. Going to look at the arrest video. He's soaked with blood. How did he go for a McDonald's when he was soaked with blood? Blood as well. So what's going on in Australia? What's happening in Mount Waverley? So let's have a look at where it is in Australia. So it's near Melbourne. Let's have a look on Google Maps. We have looked before. Glen Waverley, Mount Waverley. This is where I'm sure Erin has her holiday home. And funnily enough, you've got Legoland just here. And of course, Erin loves Lego. Is that why she chose that holiday home? Because it was near Legoland, do you think? Anyway, so it's a suburb of Melbourne. Melbourne is the city and Mount Waverley is a suburb just outside. And let me just read to you. I had a look on to see what it's like to live in Waverley. Can't find it. Hang on, I'll find it somewhere. Yeah. Mount Waverley. I need to actually, before I get started, I'm starting and I haven't said my thank yous and things like that. So first of all, let me say thank you to everyone for watching, for liking, for subscribing. A very special thank you to my members. Don't forget, tonight is Members Live. We're having a special birthday live because it's my birthday weekend this weekend, so I will not be on YouTube. I may pop on here and there. We have to see how it goes, but I doubt it very much. Depends, what happens, what comes out. Maybe reporting from the pool or reporting from the beach or the restaurant, So yeah, it's my birthday weekend, so I'm hoping to enjoy that. But tonight on Members Live, we're going to be having sort of a music quiz and a bit of a disco. That's what I'm looking forward to tonight, just in anticipation. So why not think about becoming a member? You also get to use the members emojis. Every Thursday we have an exclusive Members Live. If you can't make the actual live, you can watch it on catch up. Also, thank you to those of you that buy me Ko-fis. Thank you so much. They mean a lot. I can't even explain to you how much those kind of things mean. Thank you for PayPaling me. Thank you for emailing me. Thank you for sending super stickers or any positive support you give my channel. Thank you so much. And now I'm just going to say hello to everyone, as always. Hello, lovely lurkers. Oh, you can't see me because I'm on. Oh, the reason I'm on the avatar, so a little bit of waffle here. So I've been up since 6:30 this morning. I've done an awful lot. I'm very pleased with myself, but I'm absolutely exhausted. So I cleaned all the roof terrace. I've took the dogs out for a walk. I went to the supermarket, and then I planned this live, of course, and I did another video, etc. So I'm absolutely exhausted, and it's only 10 to 12. So literally after this live, I'll be going on because it's still very hot here. I mean, it's currently 32 degrees. And as I say, it's only 11:45. It's definitely going to hit 40 again today, I think. So after this live, it'll be a little bit of lunch, then to bed for a nap. That's where it'll be. That's how all the days are at the moment. Talk about dog day afternoons. But yeah, I like to try and get a lot done in the morning because it's this morning at 6:30, it was fresh. And you feel like you can do things. But then once it gets to sort of 12 o'clock, 11, 12 really, your brain turns to mush and it's difficult to do anything, concentrate on anything. Certainly don't want to do anything physical. So that's why I'm on the avatar. Not because it's physical to not be on the avatar, but because if I would have sat down to get ready, like for the live sort of makeup, etc., try and make myself look respectable, it would have put me back another half an hour at least, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So I didn't want to go any later with the live. So that's why I'm on the avatar. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm here real in person. So, yeah, thank you to lovely lurkers. Those of you who like to watch but not to chat. Hi to loathsome lurkers. And hi to those of you watching on replay crew. And I am blowing kisses. And now I'm going to come into the chat and see who's here, who's brave enough to venture into my chat. Hey, Yvonne. It's not my birthday yet, but it'll be Saturday, but thank you. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Maria. Oh, you've got a hair appointment, Yvonne. Yeah, Maria, isn't it horrible? Hi, West Side Skits. Hi, Bluebell. Hi, Darren. Are you still in Devon, Bluebell? Are you still in Devon at the moment? I think it's hot there, is it? Though you've got storms coming in the UK, I think, soon. I'm looking forward to our storms, but I don't think we're going to get them this weekend. But so yeah, this horrible case. So let's just hear a little bit for people who don't know anything about Mount Waverley. As I say, obviously we learned a little bit about Mount Waverley because of the mushroom murder case. So it says here this is probably Storage Exit says it's probably some sort of real estate website. So you've got to take it a little bit with a pinch of salt because maybe they're trying to sell houses there. But it says, located just southeast of Melbourne's central business district, Mount Waverley is one of the region's biggest suburbs and a beautiful place to live. For those thinking about moving to this neighbourhood, here's what you should know about life in majestic Mount Waverley. Excellent schools and local amenities. It's known for its wonderful public school system, which includes 6 primary schools and a secondary college. Now, it's going to end up being known for these horrible murders and also for Erin Patterson having her holiday home there. Now, somebody's bought her house. We were saying this the other day when we were looking at, looking at her property. Imagine the people that bought that home, now they know that they've bought the home that previously belonged to the mushroom murderer. I wonder how that'll make them feel. I mean, maybe they don't care, I don't know. Anyway, there's Riverside Riversdale Golf Club, home to the second oldest amateur golf competition in Australia and one of the oldest golf clubs in Victoria. There's also shopping, entertainment. Now, we know there's a lot of Asian supermarkets as well, don't we? In Mount Waverley, because isn't that where Erin said, oh, she went to an Asian supermarket and bought the mushrooms? There's a cinema, a family-owned movie theatre with 4 large screens next to a large shopping complex, Pinewood Shopping Village, retailers, restaurants, cafes. And after watching a movie, you can stroll through the shopping area or grab a meal. You've got a wide variety of dining options, a wide variety of styles of cuisine. Proud Peacock is Vietnamese with vegan, gluten-free and vegetarian-friendly menus. And then you've got Samsara restaurant, Middle Eastern, Lebanese and Mediterranean cuisine. Central Melbourne is just a short drive away, but in Mount Waverley you're away from the hustle and bustle of the central business district, but not too far. And you can still drive into the centre of the city whenever you need to. So it says it's 16 to 19 kilometres from the heart of the CBD and Port Melbourne, close enough to some of the main attractions that Melbourne has to offer, such as Queen Victoria Market and clubs and bars. You've got access to large nature reserves, Valley Reserve, Damper Creek Reserve, hiking and cycling trails, bird watching, wildlife, and many additional parks. It's a friendly community with multiple places of worship, and it has a population of over 35,000 people. So we've got Koreans, Indonesian, Chinese, Italian, and Greek services, all different worships. And also every year an annual Christmas carol event. And the last thoughts are that it is a fantastic place to call home, thanks to its friendly atmosphere and large open spaces. It includes many amenities, dining options, nature reserves and parks, and you're not too far from downtown Melbourne. And along with these benefits, apparently it boasts some of the most elegant homes in the region. No shortage of high-end homes for those wanting the best the region has to offer. So yeah, this company offers storage facilities. That's what's behind them. So that's what it's like to live in Mount Waverley, apparently. Now, the guy who allegedly has, committed this horrible crime, he was homeless. So it makes you wonder, is there a big homeless population there? Oh, Bluebell doesn't agree with the, the thing is, that's right. They, people that know Mount Waverley are disagreeing with the description of it. I suppose it's one of those things, if you've got a reason to big up somewhere, you do, don't you? You give the positives. I must admit, when I heard that Erin had bought a holiday home there, I thought, well, it must be quite nice, because she had a lot of money. So she's obviously paid a lot of money for her holiday home. And then when I heard about this crime and the guy who allegedly has done it, though I think it's pretty much accepted that he has done it, that he was homeless, I thought, have they got a big homeless community then? Maybe, or is there a drug problem? Maybe he knew them because, before I knew any details, and I was thinking, why has this guy done this? Anyway, it appears that it's likely that it's not to do with that. It's more to do with the dogs, disputes over the dogs. So, I don't know what's going on. This chaos. I mean, in the UK, we've got children murdering people. I mean, there's a guy haven't even covered that yet. A guy allegedly beaten to death. 49, a youngish guy. So a guy that you'd think could look after himself a little bit. beaten to death by children. So there's a lot of children killing either other children or adults. And then I just feel with this, after the Tamika Cheshire thing, it's not even so much like, people do argue, don't they? Especially neighbours and things, they get into silly disputes. And people have been killed for, less serious, really what you would think were not very serious things. But a dispute over dogs leading to actually, and not only murder, but this gruesome, overkill, really. And you'll see in a minute when we see the pictures of the house was also graffitied, which probably was this man who did that, though, they haven't confirmed that yet. So it's not only like a neighbour's dispute, or say a neighbour's dispute if he was homeless. Maybe they did have an argument and maybe they made him feel bad or whatever. But what can justify not only killing someone, a pregnant woman as well? I mean, a pregnant woman, for God's sake, pregnant women are not safe. That's another thing that I've come to realise after doing videos on true crime. You'd think that if anyone was ever safe, it'd be a pregnant woman, but no, they are not. They're not safe from their own partners, never mind other people. And then this thing with the head, what was that about? So, I mean, you would suggest then that the guy has got some mental health issues, but even so, I mean, when I took my dogs for a walk this morning, I am paranoid when I take the dog, and I'm really fighting against that. Because I could just not take my dogs for a walk, because it's a very quiet place where I take them. And, there are normally sort of people around, but it's funny, it's very open and you feel like you could see if anyone was approaching. And then this morning, this girl just appeared out of nowhere. I didn't see her coming at all. And then there she was, and, obviously it wasn't a problem, but I just thought, God, that's how quickly someone can sneak up on you, really, even though you think you're being aware and you think you're being careful. But it's not going to stop me, because otherwise you end up not going anywhere, not doing anything. So I'm not having that either. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what they say Mount Waverley is. As I say, I've never been there. I don't know. But, I'm being told by people who do know these areas on here that it's not anything spectacular. It's just a normal suburb. So, but it's not a normal suburb now, because not only Erin Patterson, it's going to be infamous, isn't it? Now, not only for Erin Patterson, but because of this horrible, I say they keep calling it a double murder. To me, it's a triple murder. So let's have a look at one of the news videos to start off with, to just give you, for some people might not know anything about it whatsoever, give you a background. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so, anyway, let's watch this.
New details are emerging about the movements of an alleged Melbourne double murderer in the moments after police say he killed a pregnant mother. Let's go live to Tegan Doling at Police HQ. So, Tegan, this is yet another sickening twist.
Yeah, good morning, Chevo. So there's new details this morning as part of this homicide investigation. The police here working overtime at Police HQ to determine, I suppose, the motive or the possible catalyst in regards to this alleged double murder at Mount Waverley. One of the things that they're looking at is whether the victim, Andrew Gunn, did in fact have a dog. We know his name was Dragon, the German Shepherd, and whether there was a dispute with his now alleged murderer, Ross Judd, over that dog, because we know that Judd, a homeless man, was found with 2 German Shepherds with him when...
Right, okay. So it's that... right. So when he was arrested, there were 2... He had 2 German Shepherds with him. So was it just one dog? So, right, let's just watch that again. So this is the guy, allegedly, who has killed these two people and the unborn child. And so I get it now. I was thinking that they had two dogs and he had one. But in fact, it seems like he had one dog and then he's then ended up taking the other dog. So he spared the dog. Let's just listen to that again.
The homeless man was found with two German Shepherds with him when he attended a McDonald's an hour after the alleged murders. Inside, he was ordering cheeseburgers and
Yeah, look at this. I was buying food at MacDonalds near Monash University's Clayton campus when a strange man, barefoot and covered in blood, walked in. I mean, he was definitely covered in blood when he was arrested. We'll see the picture in a minute. Imagine walking into McDonald's like that. He's probably thinking, oh, I'll get my last McDonald's before I get arrested. I mean, the thing is, if he's a homeless person, he'd be better off in prison, won't he? He's got a roof over his head. He's getting fed 3 times a day. He's getting looked after. But look at these. Oh, look at these good boys just standing there like that. Do you know, it breaks my heart. There's always a dog, isn't there? At least one. And, you know, most cases that I've covered, dogs are involved in some way. It's either the perpetrator's dogs or the victims' dogs. And these poor dogs, they get to see so much trauma. And not only dogs, but horses as well. And anyone who doesn't think that they know when something's going on, when something's wrong, they don't know like we know, of course. But, you know, you think a dog wouldn't realise when its owner's been murdered, or when they've got an awareness. And it's funny if that other dog that belonged to the people that were murdered has gone with them, because I don't think our German Shepherd would just go with someone who'd done harm to their owners. I don't think so. I don't know. But he may have known the dog before, you know, or I think he took some food for the dog with him or whatever. Anyway, let's hear. I don't know, you know, I've only just come to this story too, so I'm sort of hearing about it with you, really.
And it was around an hour after that he was arrested by the critical incident response team at a nearby train station, and that's when he was taken into custody. We're hearing more details about him too. He fronted court yesterday on 2 murder charges. It was there we heard it was actually his first time in custody, and that the other victim who was involved here, Athena Georgopoulos, as we know, Shervo, she was 5 months pregnant with her and her partner's.
5 months pregnant. What is this that's coming up on here? Because I'm on at the moment, I'm on paid YouTube because I've got to renew my YouTube. But let's just go. Did you see him? Absolutely covered in blood when he was arrested. So he's gone into McDonald's like this.
Response team at a nearby train station, and that's when he was taken into custody. We're hearing more details about him too. He fronted court yesterday.
Look at his T-shirt covered in blood. Where are the dogs? Who's got the dogs?
On 2 murder charges. It was there we heard it was actually his first time in custody, and that the other victim who was involved here, Athena Georgopoulos, as we know, Shervo, she was 5 months pregnant with her and her partner's first child, but that she was in fact expecting a daughter.
Okay, thank you, Toby.
So she was expecting a daughter. So that this should be a triple murder, counted as a triple murder, definitely in my eyes. But okay, so that's one video I wanted to show. I've got a couple. Let's have a look. Let me put that one down. Yeah, let's watch their video. It's the arrest again, I think.
34-year-old is swarmed by police. With no shoes and a bloody shirt, the homeless man is handcuffed and taken away in a divvy van.
All these undercover cops all the way down the street. Crazy.
He was arrested at Westall train station, 7 kilometres away from where the body of the man and woman were found by police.
Oh, there's Erin. Hey, Erin, we're not watching you today. So, yeah, chilling new claim about Mount Waverley double murder. A community has been left horrified after a pregnant woman was found dead in Melbourne alongside her partner, who was found decapitated with his head mounted on a spike. Now, it makes you wonder. Let me just go back to that picture of him walking along with a spike. Where am I? I've got that picture. Oh. Yeah, is that the spike? Because if he's going there with that spike, he's going there ready to do it. Do you know what I mean? That's a different thing as well, isn't it? Premeditation. You know, is it not just like a rage killing, which is bad enough, but premeditation. Had he decided he was going to go, he was going to not only kill these two people and their unborn child, but he was going to put his head on a spike. Was he planning that? I mean, is he decided he wants to go to prison for the rest of his life? And his poor dog there, when I look at the dog there on that picture, I just think, poor thing. You know, dogs don't have a choice, do they? And they're loyal, whatever. Even if their owner is a complete twonk, even if he as an owner was abusive towards that dog would still love him, wouldn't it? You know, we just don't deserve dogs, do we? I think sometimes. But twonks like that don't deserve dogs, in my eyes. So the bodies of Athena Georgopoulos and Andrew Gunn, so she was 39 and he was 50, were found inside a unit on Adrian Crescent in Mount Waverley on Monday night. Heavily armed police swarmed the property at 9:55 after a neighbour heard screams and called 000. And Ross Judd, 34, a homeless man with two large dogs. Now, I don't know, this is what I'd seen. I don't know, says he has had two large dogs, but I think one of them might have been the couple's dogs, was arrested just hours later and fronted Melbourne Magistrates Court on Wednesday, charged with 2 counts of murder. Now, apparently he was winking in court, you know, he wasn't taking it seriously at all. That's awful, isn't it? Let me just have a look at these photos. So here we've got some photos of Athena and the other victim. And this is the photo fit of Ross Judd. I'm sorry, I don't think the Australian photo fits are ever very good, to be honest. Do you? There's just, you know, don't know. It looks a bit like Peter Sutcliffe, that. A Yorkshire Ripper. Let's see this video. I haven't seen this video. Haven't you? Go back to the beginning. Jovial. Now, the fact that he's put that Andrew's head on that spike suggests to me he was planning to do that all along. So he has gone to their home with the intention of killing them. Seems that way, doesn't it? And apparently their home then was spray painted with graffiti. January? Oh my God. Do you know what? I mean, justice goes slow, doesn't it, in Australia? We've seen that. I mean, we've seen it with the Samantha Murphy case. I mean, we've only just had the resolution of, the mushroom murders, 2 years later. Samantha Murphy case. That's not going to be heard till next year. And that's all gone quiet now, isn't it? And then they're saying that his next hearing will be in January. Goodness me. Can you hear me okay? I think I went off there for a minute. It's very slow, isn't it? Very, very slow process. January. God, we're only in August. Bloody hell. How must their families feel knowing that they're not going to get any answers? Well, I've seen that happen with the Samantha Murphy case. Poor Mick, he's appeared at court. He's never got any answers as if yet. And God knows, it'll be, I think, is it April next year or something before Patrick Stevenson's case is going to, February at the earliest, but ages and ages and ages. So hard on the families, I think. We could do with some, they could do with some quicker justice, couldn't they? In America, it's normally quicker, isn't it? And even in Britain, it's quicker. But yeah, I hadn't realised this about Australia, how long it takes for these cases. Isn't it ridiculous, Bluebell? And even with the Erin Patterson, how long we've got to wait now for the sentencing. That seems to be take forever. I mean, in America, normally, as soon as the verdict's delivered, the judge can start with the sentencing. Oh, no, in Australia, it goes on forever again, doesn't it? Oh, my God, what a nightmare. It's just not fair, is it, on the victims' families, I think. Anyway, nothing we can do about it, but we can whinge about it at the end of the day, can't we? Express our irritation with it. And we're not even family of the victims. It's like you just think, how's it going to be for them, Right. Let me just put again a couple of windows down. Looking for what I'm going to show you next. Yeah, let's have a look at this video from 7 News. Oh dear, it is a crazy, I know I say that every day, don't I, when I come on, in this crazy world we live in, but it bloody is crazy.
Good afternoon. First at 4, a shock new development in the Mount Waverley murder case. Crime reporter Cassie Zervos joins us live. Cassie, you've just obtained exclusive vision.
Well, Laura, this crime has truly shaken the state and shocked our police force. But today we can exclusively show you pictures taken just prior to the double murder.
All right. No, he did. Oh, God, I'll get to the bottom of these dogs sooner or later. So they're saying these pictures were taken just prior to the double murder. So they are his dogs. These 2 dogs are his then. He had 2 dogs before. So what happened to their dog? Oh, I'm getting a bit confused about the dogs here. But anyway, they're off lead. We couldn't let our German Shepherd off lead. I used to be able to. I mean, she's actually very well behaved, but she doesn't like other dogs. So, you couldn't trust that she wouldn't go off and attack. Well, it wouldn't be that she would go off and attack another dog, to be honest, but other dogs come up to her and then she gets angry. But, these dogs are probably not aggressive. German Shepherds aren't always aggressive. But the thing about German Shepherds is they can do a lot of damage if they decide to. because they've got the one of the most powerful jaws, haven't they? I mean, they really are powerful dogs. I mean, that's why they're used as police dogs. But they're very loyal, and they're very, they do obey. They can be trained. And if he was homeless, I suppose that's one way of protecting yourself if you're homeless. I mean, wonder where he was living. It says he was homeless, but, it seems funny to say where was he living. But even homeless people, they do live somewhere, don't they? They have a place where they'll sleep overnight. They don't normally sleep in all different places, sometimes maybe, but they'll normally have a place, that they'll go to that they sort of call home, don't they? That's very sinister, that, isn't it, watching that with the two dogs, and it's the spike. Watching that, it's like he's on his way to their house. He's planning on decapitating that man by the look of it and putting his head on a spike for whatever reason.
Here, alleged killer Ross Judd is seen walking casually past a Bunnings 1 hour and 40 minutes before the crime. He's carrying what appears to be a steak under his right arm and a jerry can in his left hand. These items are similar to what was found at the Adrian Crescent home, along with a Bunnings.
Look, yeah. And a Bunnings trolley. He got fed up of carrying it, so he got picked up I presume Bunnings is a supermarket. Oh, you are gay, he's put on there. I mean, how childish. I mean, what's happened to this guy? Has he had some sort of complete mental break? What?
Trolley. Witnesses have told 7 News they saw the man inside the Bunnings but didn't pay too much attention to him, other than noting his two dogs were obedient while he was inside the store. Judd has been charged with 2 counts of...
They went in the store as well. I mean, you would be... I mean, when I was walking my dogs this morning, and as I said, that girl just appeared out of nowhere. I have one of my dogs on a lead at the campo and one of them off a lead. I can't let Riley off the lead because he never comes back. But my little Rocky, he's very obedient. He'll come to you, but he does love people. So as soon as he saw this girl, that was it. He ran straight up to her and she just sort of froze because she was scared, because she doesn't know if he's an aggressive dog or not. I mean, he's not a big dog. At all. He is a little dog, really, not as little as a Chihuahua, but he's pretty small. But he looks quite powerful, so I could see that people wouldn't be sure. Anyway, he didn't obviously bite her. He never bites. Rocky is not aggressive, but he was jumping up at her. He thinks everybody wants some Rocky love. That's why he's like, he wants to give his Rocky love to everyone, and he doesn't understand that not everybody wants his Rocky love. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just said, I'm so sorry. I wish she was Spanish, so I apologized to her in Spanish. She said, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. She said, it's fine. But it wasn't fine, he shouldn't have jumped up at her. But he's only a little dog. I'm just thinking, even though we've got a big dog as well, we've got a German Shepherd. I wouldn't want to be in a supermarket and some German Shepherd is just trotting around off the lead, because German Shepherds, they can be dangerous, as beautiful as they are. But it's different, my little dog jumping up at someone. But if a big dog, like our big dog, jumped up at someone, well, she's 25 kilos, 25 to 30 kilos. She could knock you over. So they shouldn't have been off a lead. But anyway, they were well behaved.
Murder over the deaths of Athena Georgopoulos and her partner Andrew Dunn. The pair was expecting their first child together, a baby girl. I'll have more on this exclusive story tonight at 6. Laura.
Thank you, Cassie.
Hi, Joanne. Just now, they said they were found inside a unit. What does that mean? What does that mean if someone was a unit? Is that a house? I think it must be their house. If we have a look again at those pictures of the house. Where's the pictures of the house? Where there was, this is where they were found, in a unit, it said. But that looks like a house. But you can see there was a lot of graffiti. You are gay, karma something something. I think they were found either inside there or just outside here. The forensic tent is outside, isn't it? But yeah, he went there to them. So, you know, it wasn't an altercation in the street. Seems to me when he was carrying that stake and he got those jerry cans, maybe he was planning on setting fire to the place. But it seems to me that he intended to cut that guy's head off and put it on a stake. Why would he take that great big spike with him otherwise? No?
Adrian Crescent home along with a Bunnings trolley. Witnesses have told 7 News they saw the man inside the Bunnings but didn't pay too much attention to him other than noting his 2 dogs were obedient while he was inside the store. Judd has been charged with 2 counts of murder over the deaths of Athena Georgopoulos and her partner Andrew Dunn. The pair was expecting their first child together, a baby girl. I'll have more on this exclusive story tonight at 6. Laura.
Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah. It's a horrible story, isn't it? Anyway, I've got another video to show you. Hang on. Right, it's like a flat joined dwellings in a complex of units, right? Okay, a complex of joined buildings. Okay, a flat. Yeah. Yeah. We don't normally, you know, I don't think in Britain you would normally refer to a flat as a unit. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think so. But he was no fixed address. Yeah, the guy who's allegedly committed the crime is no fixed address. Right, I've got another one to show you here. Let's see. Don't think we've watched this yet, but we'll watch it again anyway, if we have.
Ross Judd has fronted the Melbourne Magistrates Court this morning. He's been charged with 2 counts of murder following an alleged incident at a unit in Mount Waverley on Monday evening, which left 39-year-old Athena Georgopoulos, who was pregnant, and 50-year-old Andrew Gunn dead just before 10 p.m. Now, the alleged incident sent the street into lockdown with dozens of police, including the critical response team.
So this was in the evening, just before 10 p.m, it said. So you'd probably be sort of settling down for the night, wouldn't you, by then? You won't be expecting that then before daybreak you were going to be murdered and your head was going to be put on a spike, for God's sake.
Arriving. Hours later, they managed to find the 34-year-old accused at a train station with 2 large dogs. Now, police are also investigating graffiti on the property, words like karma, betrayal, and enough is enough. Officers are piecing together if this has any relevance to the alleged incident on Monday night. The accused appeared in court wearing a black T-shirt this morning. We heard it was his first time in custody. No application for bail was made.
First time in custody. So, you know, that to go from nothing to this, that's a big jump, isn't it? People normally get involved in smaller incidents, don't they, before they make a big leap to murder, or, you know, especially this sort of a murder. But he's never been in trouble with the police before. So he's obviously just snapped, hasn't he? Or maybe he wanted to go to prison, or I don't know. Honestly, it's beyond me. The things that are happening at the moment are just beyond me completely.
And he's expected to return in January next year.
Yeah, January next year. Let's have a look at this. Oh, so a poor mum not only has lost her daughter, but she's lost her granddaughter as well. Oh, I'm not sharing. I'm not.
Neighbours have
Sorry.
spoken of their horror.
Sorry.
Face court today, charged with the murder of a couple in Melbourne's southeast. Athena Georgopoulos and her partner Andrew Gunn were found dead at Mount Waverley at a unit there on Monday night. Stephanie Ferrier reports.
Homicide squad detectives late last night charged a 34-year-old man over the alleged double murder of 39-year-old Athena Georgopoulos and her 50-year-old partner at their Mount Waverley home, which is around 16 kilometres southeast of Melbourne's CBD. Her grieving mother, Petty Georgopoulos, has spoken of her daughter as being a caring woman, an animal lover, and someone who was also 5 months pregnant at the time that she died. And shocked neighbours have spoken of their horror after the discovery of the pair dead.
Now, from what I can gather, it was one of the neighbours that actually found this grisly scene. And I also have read on one thing, but I can't confirm that her body was also put on the spike. Now, I don't know if that's true. So, just the gruesomeness of it. It's like something off the Vikings, or as the Vikings quite often beheaded their victims is perhaps the wrong word. Their opposition, the warriors, their enemies. Why did he go to? So surely he's going to be prosecuted for desecrating a corpse as well. And then the thing about the lady being pregnant.
In their unit on Monday night, they say that they heard yelling, a large bang and a dog barking before police swarmed the area. Some say that they were too scared to sleep that night after being told by officers to lock their doors and windows, while others say that they were prevented from being able to return to their homes that night. Police say that this 34-year-old man was arrested alongside his two large dogs in the early hours of Tuesday morning, some 6 kilometres away at Westall train station. And they're still trying to piece together whether or not this alleged murder is connected to spray paint that was painted onto the walls of the unit with words including karma, betrayal and enough is enough. Police say that they believe this was a targeted attack and they're not looking for anybody else in relation to this incident, but they're still trying to connect exactly how this man who's been charged knew the two people who were found dead in their unit. They say that this man of no fixed address is going to appear in the Melbourne Magistrates Court at some stage today, charged with 2 counts of murder.
I'm starting to think, was there some sort of personal relationship? Seems very extreme just for an argument about dogs, doesn't it, really? To me, am I imagining that? Seems like a big thing.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking.
It just seems a lot, doesn't it, to do just for an argument about dogs. And it just makes you wonder, was there some sort of, because of those personal messages as well, graffitied on the walls, like very offensive messages, weren't they? Is there something more to this whole thing? But, look at that dog. Hope the dogs are okay. Now, I would like to say we'll find out, but I don't think it's going to be a long time before we find out all the details, because if he's not appearing in court till January again, I can't see any more details coming out before then. You know what they're like in Australia, the police, and I don't blame them. They want to sort the their priority is to find the guilty party and secure a conviction, isn't it? Their priority is not to satisfy our sort of thirst for knowledge about what happened. But yeah, watching him there, striding purposefully with a spike, He was intending to do that. And because he took the guy's head off and put it on the spike, was the guy his prime target? You know, is there some sort of relationship thing there? Because he made some homophobic comments as well, hadn't he, on the wall? So, you know, it's one of those crazy. He'll have a motive that will make sense to him. You know, we can't understand why anybody would want to do that, but to him it probably makes perfect sense. I think that's about all the videos that I had to show you on this. Yeah. Very sad. As they all are, of course. No, at the end of the day, all the cases that we talk about, true crime, they're always sad. It's always sad when someone feels that they have to take somebody else's life. But I do feel like, you know, every now and again you come up against a case like this one, just doesn't make sense. There's a, you know, pregnant woman, 5-6 months pregnant. She's quite a bit younger than the guy. I'm just wondering what the whole relationship was, and why he spray painted those horrible messages. If it was him, of course, it could have been somebody else completely who spray painted the messages. But I think that's doubtful, don't you? You know, it seems a bit of a coincidence that a couple are murdered in their home, and then there's, you know, hate graffiti there, and it's not the same person. Seems a bit unlikely to me, but anyway. Okay, that's it. So just wanted to tell you about this case. Thank you for caring about this poor couple, and let's just hope, well, first that the dogs are okay. Let's hope that you know, the guy, he's obviously got some mental health issues. Nobody murders a pregnant woman, a man, cuts the man's head off and puts it on a spike without having some mental health issues, do they? That is just not normal. And then goes for a MacDonalds covered in blood, for God's sake. I mean, what's the level of dissociation that you would have to be able to do that? You know, he didn't even change his T-shirt. Off he went, and he left the dogs outside. Hope those dogs get a good home now, you know. God, oh, just cannot imagine. Just can't imagine, but it's good we can't imagine it. So my prayers go out for this poor couple. Let's put a candle up for them. And then, of course, to their family and friends, and to the poor guy who found them, you know, the neighbour who had to sort of come across that scene, and the police and everything who had to face that scene. I mean, these are things you don't get over. Even if you're a hardened police officer or whatever, you know, you probably see all sorts of things. But to see somebody's head on a spike is, you know, pretty much not the norm, is it? So prayers for them and for their friends, for their family, and for all the people that had to witness any of this horrific scene. It's God, very, very sad. Let's get him off there, and let's put. Oh, I'm on the wrong one there. I want to put them up to say goodbye. But listen, thank you for watching. If you're a member, I'll see you tonight in the Members Live for the special birthday music quiz, and hopefully a little bit of a disco if I can work out how to do it without getting the stream sort of taken down. And if you're not a member, why not become a member, and then you can join in. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you.